Hi everyone, excited for you, all of you on Team Awesome Sauce that are in week 2, day 3, I believe. And so Jamie asked me if today I would talk a little bit about fat, as the coaches have been coaching, and we've got a lot of people that are new as we start the new year and have gotten those kits and jump starting 2017, as well as we've got people that have been doing it for a while. I know I've got lots of people down about 50 pounds, 60 pounds that started in maybe July and August and things like that. So we have to talk about fat every day. And so a couple of things is when we're doing the ketogenic diet, and typically I would say probably 95% of our people are actually doing that. And so we are working on low carb, moderate protein, and high fat. And so many of you get a little confused as maybe you've done low carb before or just dieted. This is not low carb. Without high fat, you're not going to see the success that you would want to see. And so that's why we talk about setting our macros. And by now, a lot of you are at least in your second eight day. The first week, really all you need to worry about is getting your carbs low and your water high. And you'll get into ketosis. You'll start to see at least a trace on your testing stick when you test in the afternoon or in the evening. Do not test in the morning. That's not a good read when you first get out of bed. This is not a pregnancy test, okay? So we want to do this later in the day. You're going to get a better read. Once you're in ketosis, then you need fat to maximize. Until you're in ketosis, this is not a concern at all. It's actually counterproductive to put fat in your body when your body's not burning fat yet. So if you're past day 4 on a first 8 day, much less if you're on day 3 of a second round, like the majority of this group, it's time to push fat. And so you've got your macro set at 5% carbs, 25% protein, and then you've got high fat set, 70, 75, and everything. So we really want to be sure that we are doing that. So let's talk about some examples of fat that you would use. As you talked with your coach on your onboarding or you've already read on the page, these are things that we want to have in your diet. So let's have, hey ladies, let's use butter. Let's use heavy cream. We want to use items like that. We also want to be sure that we're using our oils like coconut oil, cold pressed. Coconut oil is better, but it's going to be solid, and people have a hard time knowing what to do with that. So if it's a solid oil, use it like with cooking or use it when you're putting in a hot drink. But if you try to put it in a shake, it's going to bead up, and bleh, that's disgusting actually. So you can use a liquid oil. MCT oil is a very, very quality strain that your body has to burn. It has to burn coconut oil and MCT. It cannot store it. So those are really great things to use. And then as you're thinking about foods, lots of times we're trying to eat really lean, and that's not the best thing. If you're wanting to do a ketogenic diet and burn fat, you need to eat fat. So it is great to have your red meats, have your fatty part of your steak, have your fatty part of your brisket. Ribs are great. My husband smokes a lot on the smoker. Doesn't smoke at all in general. And so things like that are great because you're getting a lot of good fat in. Salmon gives you good fat as far as that goes. So we want to be sure that we're adding things in. And I'll tell you, when I first started a year and a half ago, some of the things that I did to be sure I was getting my fats in was I ate sausage, like an Opus sausage with I think it was cheddar and things like that. I would have that regularly. I ate pepperoni pizzas, just cheese and pepperoni a lot. I used items like that because in sausages, I could get my fats, my bacon up. You don't really have to worry about the quality. And I've had lots of people that have been able to regulate their cholesterol. Fat is not our problem with our health. It's your sugar and it's your carbs. And so as you move into this diet also, this way of life, because I still do it and it's not dieting, keep my weight off for a year. It's essential that you're getting the fat up and you keep the carbs low. So your body can only burn 3 things for a fuel source. It can burn carbs, sugar, so you can put those in one category, which is killing America, or it can burn fat. So when you get going, this is why a low carb diet tortures people and they're not successful. you have nothing to burn for fuel. And if you're not burning something, then your body's going to want to store something. So it's storing the fat. Doesn't have any fat to burn. You're not giving any sugar or carbs to burn, and you want to lay on the couch and die, basically. And that's not a lifestyle people can keep up with. So we're more of a low carb, high fat. So by getting that fat in, you're really going to help start burning fat. I also just recently, I hope my phone does not die because my battery's low. I just posted a nurse video about balloons. Watch it today, because it's going to talk about what your fat cells are doing. And as you start changing your diet and you stay the course, the fat goes away, the pounds come down. Most people start panicking. They're not getting enough fat in, they're not losing weight, and they think that they're stalled. You're not stalled. You just need to stay the course and need more fat. If you hopscotch around all the time, you're never going to lose weight. You've got to stay the course until you decide with a coach to do something else. And you've been stalled for probably 2 weeks, and that means not even your clothes are moving. So it's really, really important that you know these things. Fats that we're looking for are anything that you're really cooking in your house, except for your like vegetable oils, your canola oils, things like that. And most people, you're thinking about, I don't want bad fats. Well, that's going to McDonald's and eating French fries. You want to get these good red meats and fats from your dairy into your system. At first, I never ate chicken if it didn't have some cheese or some bacon on top of it, because I'm just not getting what I need to from chicken for a ketogenic diet. So remember those things. And ask whenever you're not sure, what can I do to get some fat in? And we'll help you. And then as you move along, there are days it's great if you feel like you're stalled out. Push your fat higher. And so you're going, well, I'm at 70%. Well, push it up to 80 for a couple of days. The more fat, the better. Typically, it doesn't matter the time of day too much, except for if you're a little bit older or you're getting a little closer to your goal, or you feel like you're not being as successful. Then get those things in early in the day. So the 2 things that I have really loved to do is I like to get a lot of fat in my shake early in the morning so that I'm not worrying about it through my diet all day long. The other thing is, at about, say, my 3rd 8-day cycle, which you'll be coming upon soon, I started making fat bombs, and I had those available, and I would just pop one kind of like candy in the morning before I'd leave the house or before lunch. And then that way, in a very short period of time, I could get in a lot of fat easy. It made it easy. And then that way I could get it in and I wasn't worried about what I was eating all day, so forth and so on. So be sure you're tracking and watching those fats. And even if your percentage of your day is 70%, if you're only getting about 40, 50, 60 grams of fat, it's not enough. Remember, a pie chart is math, so that's the percentage of what you've done for the day. You may just not have enough for the day. So it's saying you're at 70% of what you've eaten, but that's only of what you've eaten. So when you look at the grams, which is out beside on your, when you're looking at your macro pie even, it says carbs, and it has certain grams beside it, and then you can see your percentage, and then it says protein, and it has a certain gram, and then it has fat and a certain gram. Look at the grams beside your fat, and if those aren't getting up to 95, 100, 105, to stimulate some people, I've had to push them to 130 grams to 150 grams for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, and then they will really get that ketogenic fat burning going on. So pay attention to your grams as well as your percentage, and you'll get to where you can do this self in your sleep. Ask questions, push fat, drink water, stay the course. So you may have some questions as we're ending the video. Put those in the chats, and one of the coaches will definitely answer your questions. The moral of the story, eat more fat. Bye.